Hi everybody, I'm Arkush for Pro Football Weekly, and one of the things we do here every week at ProFootballWeekly.com is go one-on-one. We find one of the hottest topics from the National Football League, and we have our master debaters. On my right, Associate Editor Dan Parr. On my left, Associate Editor Arkush. Each choose a side, as they will today, with the question of which team in the NFL most desperately needs to either draft a quarterback of the future, find one in free agency, or both. Now, I think I know which teams you guys might have picked, but I'm not sure who has who. So, Dan, I'll come to you first.
I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals. We know that when he's healthy, Kevin Kolb is their starter. They've now seen him start 14 games over the past 2 seasons. He's banged up right now. They have Ryan Lindley as their starter, a rookie who went in through 4 picks in this past game, and he replaced John Skelton, who got benched after performing poorly when he came in relief of Kevin Kolb. Kolb, in the games where he's thrown 21 passes or more as a Cardinal, their record is 5-8. I know that maybe with a better offensive line, give him more of an opportunity, but right now that's not a luxury the Cardinals have, and I just think Kolb over the course of his career has shown that he's a pretty decent backup, but not a starter. And for Kevin Wisenhunt, time is running out to find the right guy. They need to go out and get that quarterback this offseason.
I can't argue with the Cardinals. Now, I can think of 2 choices for you, Arthur. I'm not sure which one you're going with, though.
Kansas City Chiefs, to me, are the obvious choice here. When I look at the 3 quarterbacks on that roster, I think there's a very good chance none of the 3 of them are going to be on the roster next season. Matt CASSEL, clearly not the answer, just far too inconsistent. He's past his prime as well. Brady Quinn, I think we've kind of seen what Brady Quinn is at this point. And I think in Ricky Stanzi, the fact that he has yet to get on the football field in his 2nd NFL season, meanwhile Ryan Lindley, a rookie, has gotten a chance. I just think it speaks volumes about the trust or the lack thereof that they actually have in the kid, and I don't think that bodes well for his future with the team.
You know, Arthur, the one thing that intrigues me about the Chiefs is everybody says we've seen enough of Brady Quinn. Actually, he probably doesn't have more than half a dozen career starts in the NFL. Maybe he's got a dozen. Why is it nobody even wants to give Brady Quinn a chance?
Well, I just think when he's out there, it looks like there's a lack of confidence. I don't know if he exactly knows what's going on. He doesn't seem to necessarily believe in himself, and that's a major problem. It's hard to get his organization to believe in him if he doesn't, display that on the field. So you're right. Maybe he hasn't had a ton of chances. Obviously, a really high pick, but I think that they have a pretty good assessment of where they think he's at. And again, I just think you look at the talent around that club, there's plenty of it. They should be faring a lot better. It would seem that they should be able to turn this around, but they have a huge question mark, obviously, at the most important position on the field.
All right, and Dan, similarly, you mentioned the Cardinals have seen what Kevin Kolb can do. Now, actually, he was really bad at first, then he wasn't bad before he got hurt. Is it too soon to write him off, or I guess you don't think so?
Well, the Cardinals were 3-2 with him as a starter this season. They started the season 4-2, went on to start the season very strong when he was playing a lot. The fact is that they were winning with defense. The Cardinals averaged 18 points a game in games Kolb started this season. Last season, when he started 9 games, averaged 20 points a game. That's just not good enough in this NFL era. You need to be able to score more points, and with Kolb, the Cardinals just haven't been able to do it. And you talk about the Chiefs, they have something that the Cardinals don't have, which is a quarterback that's been to a Pro Bowl. Less than 2 years ago, Matt CASSEL went to a Pro Bowl. He threw 27 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions, and the Chiefs won the AFC West. I still think that in the right system with a good coaching staff, Matt CASSEL can have you win some games, can get you into the postseason. I don't think he's a guy that's going to lead to a Super Bowl. I don't think any of the quarterbacks we're discussing are. But I do think he has proven something that Kevin Kolb has not to this point.
Well, interesting segue, though, also, because my next question for you would be, could any quarterback, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, do anything behind that Cardinal offensive line?
That's a fair question. I mentioned that right off the bat. I don't think there's much you can do when you're getting sacked 6, 7, 8 times per game. Kevin Kolb is hurt right now because his offensive line can't protect him. That is something, no matter who's under center for the Cardinals next season, the team is going to have to address in the offseason. They're going to have to invest either in free agency or in the draft very early and getting better protection for those quarterbacks.
All right, now Arthur, I turn to you. Not bad offensive line in Kansas City. Jamal Charles, nice bounce back from injury, but has been inconsistent, and no consistency for them at wide receiver.
Right, yeah, they do need more help. Dwayne Bowe, a big name, but seems to kind of disappear at times. Haven't gotten what they need out of the first rounder, John Baldwin, and there's not a whole lot there. But, I get back to Kevin Kolb. You talked about how he actually played really well, or not really well, excuse me, but he played well enough early in the season. Of course, they still have a lot invested in him. I believe they've already given him $30 million, so it would seem to be too soon to turn the page. Meanwhile, it looks more and more like Scott Pioli's time may be up in Kansas City. Of course, he's responsible for bringing in all 3 of those quarterbacks. If a new guy comes in, you'd have to think he's going to want to bring in his guys as well.
Good job, guys. I'm going to call this one a draw. Arthur says the Chiefs. Dan says the Cardinals. I agree with both. My choice would have been the New York Jets, but we don't have the hour or two we need to clean up that mess. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of One on One. For all the best in news, notes, and analysis, everything you need to know to enjoy the National Football League, you want to stay right where you are at ProFootballWeekly.com.